Why is EU so important for India, and then why is India important for EU?
Vishal, there is a historical background to the relationship between the two entities. One aspect of it has already been discussed by Ambassador Sir. I'll put another perspective to it. One is the kind of trajectory of the relationship between the two for last 7 decades, I would say. And this has been a kind of moderate high and low, which we have witnessed in the bilateral relations. The second aspect is the current scenario. Now, let us look at the first one together in the broader framework. From a long period of time of mutual distance, or you can say a kind of neglect would not be a right word, but then at least not that much of intensification of relationship, we moved on the parallel paths of development and whatever you may say. By the 90s, it was a turn in Indian economy, and we started opening up to the Western countries, particularly Europe and the US. And from that point onwards, we see that even European Union as an entity coming into existence during early 1990s. And since then, there has been a kind of more close relationship, but it hasn't gained as much momentum as we would have desired, at that point of time. Since 2004, the strategic partnership, and then there was a convergence to look into the similar direction of ideas, of developmental goals, and rest of the things. However, this trajectory since even 2004 has seen a bit kind of, moderate level of progress and not a very high uptick in the graph of relationship. But now the context is ripe for both of us to come together, work together, and have envisage a future together. Why is it that? And particularly since Trump 2.0. The reason is that the European Union for a long period of time has been seen as a waning power. And our focus has been more on the US or in our region on China and rest of the things which preoccupy us in, regional and at the global level politics. But now for Europe, there are three conditions which are very pressing. The first one is the shock given by Donald Trump. The second one is the Ukraine war, which has been happening for a long period of time now, and there is no end in sight. And the third one is the muscular might of China, where they have a huge trade, but in terms of the benefit of China. On the contrary, for India, once again, the tariff shock, which has been given to us as well, 50%, although it may not sustain for a long period of time. And the second one, once again, trade with China, where we have huge deficit. So both the countries are driven by certain kind of pressing circumstances where there is a need to look for like-minded partners.